Do you think Tbilisi is just a small city nestled in the Caucasus Mountains? Get ready. What you're about to discover may leave you utterly speechless. From women with mythological beauty, ancient bathhouses bubbling from the earth, to thousand-year-old fortresses and the world's oldest wines, Tbilisi is a magical intersection of past, present, and mystery. Join the Shin as we dive into 10 of the most fascinating and unbelievable things about Georgia's capital, a city that the more you explore, the more you fall in love and never want to leave. 1. Tbilisi, a city where the ancient meets the modern. Tbilisi is like a living novel, where every street corner and every cobblestone tells a captivating chapter of history. But what makes this city truly special is not just its centuries-old charm, it's the way Tbilisi comes alive with a vibrant modern rhythm full of freedom and surprises. You might start your day in the old district of Abanotubani, where intricately carved wooden balconies cast shadows over winding alleyways, and just a few steps away, you'll stumble upon an industrial-style cafe playing smooth jazz, where young people work on their laptops as if they were in Berlin or Amsterdam. Tbilisi doesn't erase the past in pursuit of the present. On the contrary, it allows the past and present to coexist, like two close friends sharing stories. The ancient Narakala Fortress looks down on the glass Bridge of Peace. Medieval ruins sit beside contemporary art museums, and rickety old trams still roll alongside sparkling modern metro stations. At night, when golden lights shimmer on the surface of the Kura River, Tbilisi becomes a dream within reality. A city that can immerse you in the echoes of the past, while simultaneously pulling you into bold modern experiences. This fusion is not jarring. It's like a symphony with strange yet mesmerizing harmonies. 2. The sulfur baths. A spa within an ancient volcanic heart. Amid the bustling heart of Tbilisi lies a place that feels like it stepped out of an ancient legend. The sulfur baths of Abanotubani, where mineral-rich hot springs have bubbled up from deep underground for thousands of years. More than just a place for relaxation, this is the soul of the city, the birthplace of Tbilisi itself. In fact, the name Tbilisi originates from the Georgian word Tbili, meaning warm. Legend has it that in the 5th century, King Vakhtang Gorgasali was out hunting when he shot a pheasant. The bird fell into one of the natural hot springs and was instantly cooked. So amazed was the king by this miraculous land that he chose to build his capital right there. And thus, Tbilisi was born, from the very steam rising from these mineral springs. The red brick domes poking above ground are actually the rooftops of underground bathhouses. Inside, cozy chambers filled with the distinct scent of sulfur, reminiscent of eggs, offer an oddly soothing experience. Soaking in the hot mineral water, all your fatigue seems to melt away. Your skin turns soft and smooth, and your spirit floats as light as a cloud. These baths have welcomed legendary visitors, the poet Pushkin, the novelist Alexandre Dumas, even ancient Arab traders. Today, from budget backpackers to stylish influencers, anyone visiting Tbilisi is told the same thing. Take a bath at least once to feel time flow across your skin. The sulfur baths are more than just a spa. They are a ceremonial welcome to Tbilisi in the warmest and most natural way imaginable. 3. Georgian wine, the cradle of world winemaking. When people think of wine, they often picture France, Italy, or Spain. But few realize that Georgia, a small country nestled at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, is actually the birthplace of this legendary drink. With over 8,000 years of winemaking history, Georgia holds the title of the oldest wine culture in the world. This isn't marketing. It's a fact backed by science. Archaeologists have uncovered clay vessels containing traces of wine and fermented grape seeds from the Neolithic period right on Georgian soil. Even more fascinating, Georgians continue to use that same ancient method today. a distinctive winemaking tradition known as cuvevri. Cuvevri are giant clay amphorae buried underground, where grape juice, skins, stems, and seeds ferment naturally for months. No preservatives, no filtering, no intervention, just grapes, earth, and time. The result? A rich, bold wine layered with complex flavors and infused with the wild soul of the Caucasus. In Tbilisi, wine is more than a drink. It's a religion, a soul, a bridge between the living and their ancestors. You'll find ancient wine cellars tucked into the old town and modern wine bars serving handcrafted local varieties. And at any Georgian feast, wine flows endlessly, accompanied by poetic toasts delivered by the tamada, a traditional toastmaster who leads the emotions of the evening like an ancient bard, weaving words and wine together. Georgian wine doesn't try to be flashy or conform to international standards. It's raw, rustic, and real, just like the people who make it. One sip of Georgian wine, and you're not just tasting a drink. You're drinking from a living civilization that has endured for millennia. 4. Georgian women. Mythical beauty in real life, said to be the most beautiful in the Caucasus. It's no coincidence that Georgia, especially its capital, Tbilisi, is often hailed as home to the most beautiful women in the Caucasus. Their beauty isn't merely about appearance. It is a culmination of centuries of history, a fusion of civilizations, and an aura that words alone can hardly capture. Georgian women possess a timeless classical beauty, as if stepping out of a Renaissance painting. Deep, soulful eyes that seem to hold an entire culture, high-bridged noses, refined and harmonious facial features, glowing fair skin, thick flowing hair, and an elegant gait that moves like a gentle symphony. But what truly gives their beauty a mythical quality isn't just their looks. It's their presence and inner strength. Georgian women are strong, intelligent, and independent, yet they embody a graceful femininity. They don't need elaborate makeup or flashy designer fashion. Just a glance or a smile is enough to stir the hearts of those around them. Georgian culture places great value on family, tradition, and respect for women. The role of a mother or wife is considered the emotional and spiritual core of the household. Though women may not always take center stage in traditional feasts and toasts, behind closed doors, they are the quiet force that keeps the family flame alive, discreet, yet powerfully influential. For many visitors, the beauty of Georgian women is one of the most sweet shocks they experience in Tbilisi. It's not loud or overtly advertised, but it leaves a deep, lingering impression, one that stays with you long after you've left. 5. The Bridge of Peace, a controversial piece of modern architecture. Amid the ancient heart of Tbilisi, where thousand-year-old churches and quiet, cobbled streets stand side by side, the Bridge of Peace emerges like a futuristic creature, shimmering, curving, and challenging the eye. It is the most controversial piece of modern architecture in Georgia, a landmark that locals are both proud of and unsure whether to love or loathe. Inaugurated in 2010 and designed by Italian architect Michele De Lucchi, the bridge spans the Kura River like a strip of glass silk, supported by an intricate system of curved steel tubes. It connects the city's old town with its modern district. By day, it floats in the air as a light, transparent structure. By night, it transforms into a vibrant light symphony, with 1,200 LED lights programmed to flash Morse code messages that spell out life, love, and peace. But it's precisely this ultra-modern appearance that has made the bridge a lightning rod for debate. Some Georgians have compared it to a giant sanitary pad awkwardly placed in the historic cityscape, arguing that it disrupts the harmony of Tbilisi's traditional architecture. Others see it as a bold symbol of a new Georgia, dynamic, forward-looking, and unafraid to break from convention. Controversial or not, the Bridge of Peace has become a must-visit for tourists. Strolling across it at night, as the LED lights sparkle and reflect in the calm waters of the Kura. You can truly feel the magical blend of old and new, a city that honors its past while reaching ambitiously toward the future. 6. Tbilisi, the city of slanted balconies and crumbling old houses. If there's one thing visitors never forget after their first trip to Tbilisi, it's the enchanting old houses that look like they've stepped right out of a fairy tale, with slanted wooden balconies that seem like they could collapse with just one strong gust of wind. But don't let appearances fool you. These houses are the living breath of the past, the true soul of Tbilisi. Scattered throughout the old town, tucked into narrow cobbled alleys and nestled beneath the Narakala Fortress hillside, each home is a handcrafted masterpiece. Intricately carved balconies, cracked wooden pillars, and peeling paint on arched windows, all coming together to form a rustic, dreamy, and haunting beauty. The surprising part? Despite their fragile appearance, most of these homes are still inhabited. They're home to lifelong Tbilisians, cooking in 19th century kitchens, drying laundry on creaky balconies, and smiling as tourists marvel and snap photos. These residents are the guardians of the city's memory, simply by never leaving it. To Georgians, those slanted balconies are not signs of decay. They're symbols of an authentic Tbilisi, full of character, unpolished, and resilient to the passage of time. While much of the world demolishes the old to build the new, Tbilisi chooses to coexist with its past, lovingly, respectfully, and without pretense. And you'll feel it most when you're sitting in a small cafe, listening to piano music drifting down from a second-floor apartment as golden sunlight filters through the warped window panes of a house on the verge of collapse. In that fleeting moment, Tbilisi reveals itself like a faded dream, fragile but breathtakingly beautiful. 7. The underground city, a hidden layer of history. Tbilisi's allure isn't limited to what's visible on the surface. Beneath its ancient stone foundations lies a mysterious world, an underground city filled with untold layers of history. Few people know that beneath the bustling streets, beneath the sulfur baths and winding alleys, exists a network of tunnels, underground chambers, and ancient relics, each brick echoing the legacy of empires that once ruled this land, from the Persians, Ottomans, and Arabs to the Soviets. Much of this subterranean world remains excavated. Some parts have only been discovered during metro construction or the restoration of old buildings. These hidden spaces include medieval wine cellars, wartime shelters, and even secret passageways linking fortresses, churches, and royal residences. One of the most fascinating areas lies beneath the Narakala Fortress, a strategic underground system once used for defense, hiding, and even storing treasure. Locals still whisper stories of undiscovered tunnels and ancient stone chambers buried for centuries, as if the city holds memories that haven't yet risen to the surface. Today, adventurous tours allow you to descend into this forgotten world, stepping into dimly lit spaces where flashlight beams dance across moss-covered stone walls, and the silent whispers of history still seem to echo from the depths. The underground Tbilisi is an entirely different experience, quiet, mysterious, and perfect for explorers at heart. It's a reminder that every city has a hidden side, not to be feared, but to be heard, uncovered, and deeply appreciated. 8. Georgian cuisine, flavors that make you lose your way back. Georgian cuisine is a symphony of flavors, a crossroads between East and West, where every dish is rich, rustic, yet incredibly refined. Just one visit to Tbilisi, and you'll find it hard to forget the mouth-watering aromas of freshly baked bread, melting cheese, and smoky grilled meats drifting through the narrow streets of the old town. Khachapuri, a boat-shaped bread filled with gooey cheese, butter, and a soft egg yolk, is the soul of Georgian cuisine, indulgent, addictive, and utterly unforgettable. Then there's khinkali, juicy meat-filled dumplings that are both a culinary delight and a challenge of skill. One bite releases a burst of savory broth that awakens every sense. Beyond these, you'll find lobio, stewed red beans, mitzvati, grilled meat skewers, and a variety of side dishes made from vegetables, walnuts, and fresh herbs. Every meal is a colorful celebration, always accompanied by traditional wine and heartfelt toasts. Georgian food isn't fancy or extravagant, but it's powerful in its simplicity. It makes you forget your way home because of the sincerity in each ingredient, the warmth in every invitation to dine, and the heartfelt hospitality that mirrors the spirit of its people. 9. Mother Georgia, a symbol of hospitality and strength. Perched high on Solalaki Hill, towering over the city of Tbilisi, stands an unforgettable figure, Mother Georgia, cartless Data, a 20-meter-tall aluminum woman holding a bowl of wine in her left hand to welcome friends and a sword in her right to defend her land. This iconic statue perfectly encapsulates the Georgian spirit, hospitable yet unyielding. Erected in 1958 to commemorate Tbilisi's 1,500th anniversary, the statue is more than just a work of art. It is the embodiment of a national character. If you come as a friend, you are offered wine. If you come as an enemy, you face a sword. This balance between warmth and bravery is what makes the Georgian people so respected throughout the Caucasus. Mother Georgia doesn't need words. Her powerful yet graceful presence tells a long story of history, tradition, and national pride. From this vantage point, you can take in a panoramic view of Tbilisi, a city that is both serene and alive, where past and present blend like the wine in her hand. No matter where you're from or how far you've traveled, standing before Mother Georgia, you'll feel an unspoken but deeply emotional welcome. Welcome to Georgia, the land of open hearts. 10. Narakala Fortress, 1,000 years of history within sight. No trip to Tbilisi is truly complete without setting foot on Narakala Fortress, a living symbol of history, national pride, and the timeless beauty of a city that has stood for over 1,500 years. Perched on a steep hillside overlooking the Kura River, Narakala stands like an eternal night watchman, silently observing the city's transformation through the centuries. Originally built in the 4th century by the Persians, later expanded by the Arabs, and reinforced under Georgian kings, Narakala has borne witness to Tbilisi's every rise, conquest, and rebirth. From atop the fortress, you can take in a sweeping panoramic view of the entire city, from the ancient rooftops of the old town and the steam rising from the sulfur baths to the shimmering modern Bridge of Peace spanning the river. It's a view that feels as though you're gazing into both past and present at once. Inside Narakala, you'll find crumbling stone walls, moss-covered narrow pathways, and the restored St. Nicholas Church, where prayers still echo through the air despite the relentless passage of time. Here, you don't just see beauty. You feel history breathing through every weathered stone. Though war and earthquakes have left parts of it in ruins, Narakala still stands, not proud or defiant, but quietly enduring, like an old storyteller ready to whisper the forgotten tales of a Tbilisi that never truly faded with time. Tbilisi isn't just a destination, it's a living chronicle, a cultural symphony that leaves you both awestruck and deeply enchanted. And if you think you already know this city, just visit once, and let your heart speak louder than your mind. If you love exploring mysterious, strange, and little-known corners of the world, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Shin, where every video is a journey that expands your world and your soul.